Hello there, it is yo boy Teddy, and welcome to a new deal that we're doing, 10-minute Warframe builds, or Warframe builds in 10 minutes. And we're going to start off with my favorite,
The Thickness!
Mesa, cowgirl extraordinaire, pew pew enthusiast, and of course just one of my general favorites. Alright, we're going to start off with what is Mesa about? Guns! Mesa likes guns. I like guns. So let's go. Damn! And start with a passive. Shoot dual-wielding sidearms 50% faster and reload single-handed sidearms 25% more rapidly. Gain 50 bonus health when not using melee weapons. Which is great because Mesa kind of base stats are kind of squishy. Like, honestly, she's got a lot of output firepower and some survivabilities, but she's kind of squishy. Now, she comes with an ability called Ballistic Battery, which normally goes right here. I replaced that, because Ballistic Battery stores up energy used from firing guns. And then eventually it charges up to a certain percent, and then you can fire that. And it's pretty good damage for a single shot. It's often said that you should use Ballistic Battery before using Peacemaker to charge up to store all that energy. Personally, though, I think early on that's great for Mesa. But later on, I've got enough guns to do what I need them to do that I don't want to have it all rely on a single shot. So I replaced it with Silence. Using Silence surrounds Banshee in an aura that stuns enemies and will limit their perceptions and tactical response to gunfire and Warframe attacks. Now you take a look at the drain of 75. That's down to 18.75 with my build. Radius 20 to 32.2 meters. Duration 30 to 41.55 seconds. Silence is fucking awesome. If you take a look at the picture in here, you see these dudes here, they're freaking out, they don't know what to do, and you know what the biggest thing? They're not shooting at you. You know what's really great about that? In Steel Path, they're not shooting at you. Shooting Gallery gives an ally extra damage while jamming the guns of nearby enemies. This power shifts between team members. This is also awesome because jamming guns means they're not shooting at you. Awesome. We actually like this, and it helps your team, so fuck it, right? Drain goes from 50, it got down to 12.5, damage 25%. Duration from 30 to 41.55 seconds, and radius of 16 up to 26.56 meters. Shatter Shield, also very wonderful for Mesa survivability considering her squishability. Envelops Mesa in a barrier of energy, reflecting back incoming bullet damage. Drain is normally 75, I got that motherfucker down to 18.75. Damage reduction of 80%. Duration from 25 up to 34.62. And radius is 11 up to 18.26 meters. So you take notice that I have the durations a lot longer because I don't like having to cast the same shit every 10-15 seconds. That annoys the shit out of me. And Peacemaker, the Do Dirt. The be-all end-all. Why do we call it the Do Dirt? Because you only pull it out when it's time to do dirt. With intense focus, Mesa draws a regulator pistol, shooting down her foes in rapid succession. Drain from 25 down to 6.25, and energy per second from 15 down to 3.75. That means I can stay in this mode and unleash absolute hell on somebody. More. Damage multiplier is only 1.5, which is about standard. But you know what? That's okay, because more gun. It makes up for a lack of damage multiplier. Field of view from 15 up to 19.5. Field of view is that ring you see there slightly getting smaller in that little video right there. When it gets smaller, those are the fewer the enemies that you see while firing. But that's okay, because you look at the one enemy, and guess what? That one singular enemy is fucked. Alright, so here's my Mesa, as you've already seen. She's holding that gun kind of weird. Kind of weird. Come on, you're driving me nuts here, lady. Alright, whatever. She's gonna hold it weird. Anyways, let's take a look at the build. Of course, we start with Pistol Amp. Why wouldn't you use it? Pistol damage increased to 27% damage. Gotta love it. Power Drift. You can switch this out. I like Power Drift because I like the little extra bump, right? 30% chance to resist knockdown is also nice. Don't like getting knocked on your ass if you can help it. Fleet and Expertise. Up 60% ability efficiency and down 6% duration. Narrow-minded brings that duration up by 81%, but range goes down 54%. Streamline, 30% additional efficiency. Transient Fortitude brings strength up to 45% and duration down 22%. Pair with Prime Continuity, throwing that motherfucker up 40%. That helps combat that. Overextended helps combat the range deficiency, but also minus 60% on ability strength. Augur Reach gives us an additional 30% ability range, and Prime Flow gives us more energy. Now, that seems like a hodgepodge of nonsense, but why do I like it? Duration's at 139, which means that, like, this thing lasts 41 seconds, this lasts, excuse me, 41 seconds, that lasts 34, and this lasts as long as I got fucking energy. So, you know what? This is less for more. This is less I have to deal with this nonsense. Efficiency, as you've already guessed, means this shit's fucking cheap. Look at that, 25 down to 6, 75 down to 18, 50 down to 12, and 75 down to 18. Range is 166 because you're shooting, motherfuckers. You want range, but also because silence with a range of 33.2 meters means that most enemies, before they actually hit their attacking range, start freaking the fuck out from sensory deprivation. Excuse me. And that's actually the big key why I run silence. It's a little bit weird. Things get a little weird. You can switch this nonsense out as you want. I like Mold Augmented. I'm working on building it. It's just taking its time. But Arcane Precision is definitely where it's at, with 200% damage for 18 seconds on a secondary weapon. Now, what secondary weapon would you use to make this work? Let me introduce you to, she's holding it weird. Again, that's actually kind of starting to piss me off a little bit. There we go. Let me introduce you to the Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Huckleberry is a kit gun that I've been working very hard on to build. Working very hard to build, focusing around high critical damage, hitting you a bunch of times with a single shot. Literally, you want to talk about making every single shot count? This is the gun that I'm building that makes every fucking shot count. Let's start with Pistol Gambit, 120% critical chance. You don't have to have a Riven, but I just happen to have the Riven, and I said, fuck it, let's go. Tombfinger Sadanok, whatever, sounds something racist, I'm not going to keep saying it. 2.4 punch through is fine, but the 107 multi-shot is what I look for, and minus 18.2% reload speed. Galvanized Crosshairs on headshot, 87.3% critical chance when aiming for 12 seconds. On headshot kill, 29.1% critical chance when aiming for 12 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. Lethal Torrent, 60% fire rate and multi-shot. Means I fired a bitch faster and you get hit more per bullet. Galvanized Shot, 65.5 status chance percentage. On kill, 32.7 direct damage per status type affected the target for 14 seconds. That target's gonna hurt if you got a team that's lighting them up with different status effects. Galvanized Diffusion, 90% multi-shot. On kill, give me more multi-shot. What is multi-shot, you ask, and why do I suck it off so hard? The number of damage instances fired per shot without consuming additional ammo. Each damage instance has its own chance to apply critical hits or status effects. That's why I like it. Scorch, 45% heat, 45% status chance, and Hornet Strike because 180% additional damage. Why the fuck wouldn't you, right? Now, why Scorch? Scorch is weird. It's not weird, I like Scorch. Because Cascadia Flare, on heat status effect, 6% damage for 10 seconds, stacks up to 240. Working on building this too. And Pack Seeker, 4 projectile bursts from the target on headshot kill, and seek the heads of nearby enemies. It's fucking great. Excuse me. So that's my Mesa. It's a fun build. It's a great build. Now, people say, why low ability strength? Because you don't need it. The enemies are all stunned and jacked up, can't fire back at you for most of the part, giving you more time that you need to fucking mow them down, and it is a beautiful thing, especially when you're running with a team. But enough of gopping about that. Let's see how it handles in the field. Hey, you guys want to see something funny? Watch me make Margulis offended. She looks so offended. You can only do this in solo, but if you pause it, hit escape during the game while they're talking, she's still moving, but her mouth's open and she kind of shook her head perfectly, and she just looks so offended, like, I know you did not just pause the game on me when I was talking. Anyways. Alright. I usually run the Xeneric school as well, but I was actually working on building another school. I forgot to switch it. I'm totally professional. Thanks, Margulis. Thank you, Mama. Alright. Yeah, I forgot to switch them because, you know. That's alright, though. We're going to shoot somebody. Let's see what we can find. So take a look at that guy. Oh, he dots! He like, you're not gonna make a showing of me. So take a look at that guy. He's head gone. Oh, I shot it. See that little, you missed the little particle. It was very easy to miss. See that right there? Boom. That's the packs. Now, let's activate silence. See these guys here? Now they don't know what to do with their lives. That stun is actually really great. Let's activate shooting gallery. Now their guns don't work. Hey, knock knock. I don't do it. And there you go. And now the only downside you have to deal with is that everything is muffled. But take a look. Look at them starting to freak out. There's nothing they can do about this. There's nothing they can do. And after all those abilities that I've activated, look at my energy. It's doing fine. Thank you. Woo! Let's just queue these up again. My energy barely took a knock. And you know what would be fun to do? Hey, special delivery! Anyways. Unfortunately, in low-hanging roofs, that kind of hurts right there. Someone should... Excuse you. Stop that. Stop that. Now, I know what also you're probably saying. Why are we doing this with Titan Grenier? That's kind of a tradition. After my group does things like Kuva runs or sister runs, we kind of just go and pick on the Grenier down here on Titan, kind of just to relieve stress, honestly, and just kind of became the perfect area to showcase the abilities. Now, what is another reason why I absolutely love? Look at that. I'm just going to stay in this mode. You can see it steadily dropping, but that's okay. Because obviously you don't need to stay in it, but everything's dead. Woo! Stop that nonsense. You going to get on that gun too? Alright, so this is basically the quick rundown of how these abilities work. Absolute crowd control gives your team and you plenty of opportunity to mark the entire room. Just from you entering it, half the time before you enter it. The only thing I don't like about the silence, hey! Get away from there! The only thing, his corpse! The only thing I don't like about it is, again, everything's muffled, so it's kind of, you don't get the full effect of the sounds of the guns. Because I like the sounds. Y'all cut that shit out. Hi everybody, this is Editing Teddy. How you doing? So unfortunately some of the footage kind of got a little bit jacked up. So what we're doing here is this is an arbitration, something stupid from the Arbiters of Hexus. It's kind of, quote, an elite mission. And I thought, well, and I was looking through some footage and I was like, you know what, I'll use this stuff. So what you see here to help make up the balance of what was unfortunately missed is this build in action against enemies of some decent note. Because if you fall once in this, you are done for a minute. What I am currently doing right now is scanning. When it comes to a defense mission, I hold a point. This point belongs to me. Everything, like, obviously that's what you do in defense missions, but as a Mesa, I hold this to heart. With all the 3 buffs you see currently active down there, this is my territory. And then with the Peacekeeper thing I'm doing there, I am scanning for enemies and mowing them down before they even get a chance. Before they even touch the bondage cage, which helps a lot. So obviously this, they're not getting close enough to really shoot me, which is perfectly fine. Even if they did get close, the bondage cage would catch them. But also, my ultimate, I call it the ultimate, is catching them before they even get that chance. And if you take a look at the energy cost, it is not really affecting me that all. Yeah, I run off to go get some energy, or I re-up myself because I like having, I believe in overkill. Do I need this much energy? Probably not, but I like having this much energy. So you see me actively looking around, actively scanning. Now you see that's the radius right there, getting smaller as it goes. You can reset this. I'm choosing not to always reset it in certain times because I focus more bullets on singular enemies as you see the rate of fire continue, get faster as I start to focus like right here on particular enemies. So, is this the best build? Probably not. Is this a pro build? Definitely not. Is this a fun build? Yeah, damn right. So, it's not always about the meta, it's about what's fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.